All right, here we are. We're going into our memorial meal for Dad. There's Mom. And hello.
Here, I'll get you.
And we are going to Stafford's Bayview Inn, one of our favorite places. Hi. Thanks, Amy. And Stafford's, unbeknownst to many, Stafford's actually has a stony beach down at the bottom of their parking lot. Some people know about it. You almost have to be a local to know about it. There are some swings and stuff. I better not tell everybody, yeah. There are some swings and stuff down here. You can watch the sunset. If you go a little bit further down, you can throw some rocks in the water down there.
There's Evan. Right up.
Got Roger here. Got Don and Christina are here. This is a beautiful restaurant. Victorian age, Victorian era. They've got different rooms you can rent for events. And our room is down this way. And there the lady is. Right here. Hello. Is our room ready?
It's ready.
All right, let's go. Well, look who's here. Yay! Gillen and Carol. Get Ron and Judy Brown. All kinds of everybody's here. Well, this is nice. We are back here in the Staffordshire room. Look at this. If you look out the windows, we've got Little Trevor's Bay right here. It's a beautiful view. All right. Got tables being seated. Beautiful view. It's going to be a great evening. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, that was very nice. Look, they have this outdoor porch you can enjoy. People enjoying the water. Normally you can see the sunset. The sunset would kind of be over there. Very nice meal with everybody. Stafford's Bayview Inn.
Members were expected to learn Zoom and then potentially change what you were going to do for the rest of the semester based on the fact that it was all going to be remote.
Here's the
And
obituary.
it was the best we could do.
Love
And
you,
we got
Dad.
through that
I miss you,
semester,
Dad.
but
Here is Fred's tree right here. And people are beginning to gather for our little dedication. We've got everybody here. Hi, guys. Hi, Evan. Hi. We've got some people here. We've got Grace Ann here. Grace Ann, thank you so much. Got some nice neighbors and friends here getting ready for our nice dedication.
Navy and white.
I want to welcome all of you here. It means so much to the family that each of you have made the time and in many cases made the trip to come out here to celebrate my dad. I wanted to introduce my family very quickly. I'm Dale, I'm Fred's son. My wife Emily is over here, and with our 3 kids, which of course are Fred's grandchildren. And before we get started, I just wanted each of you to know sort of what to expect here today. What we're hoping to do is to open with...
I would like to introduce you to Reverend Grace Ann Beebe, who bought our cottage 19 years ago next weekend. Which I thought was really interesting.
Yay.
Not because of that time, it's just how that worked out. And this is indeed the tree, and it's a Norwegian sunset maple.
Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord. They shall be like a tree planted by water, sending out its roots by the stream.
For over 40 years. So, in thinking about this moment, the one thing that came to me was a moment that I shared not just with Fred, but with Dale and with Deanne, when Fred volunteered to give the first Michigan performance of a requiem that I had composed in honor of my father back in 1996. And so I came up from Cincinnati to Michigan to attend the performance and was there for, I think, the last rehearsal. And everything was going really well except for one movement. And that movement was holy, holy, holy. And Fred was trying to approach it with the greatest, delicate, tender, reverent approach. And it wasn't working. And I was kind of sitting there watching this rehearsal disintegrate. And he finally turned around and said, "What do I do with this?" And I said, "Fred, it's not so delicate. It's more about marching to Zion." And he said, oh, everybody, let's march to Zion. And then the music went. And then it went. And it was great.
You.
I love the way Fred could stir up the pot. It wouldn't matter what our plans were, whether we had already turned him into the cruise line, whatever, when it came to the final moment. I think we should do something different. And we said, "Fred, this is already signed, sealed, and delivered. This is what we're doing." Well, okay.
Yeah.
Fred enjoyed busting the windows with volume when he was listening to music.
Yes.
In the car, in the house, and that's my kind of music. I love it, man. Whether it's organ or trumpet or whatever. So we had that much in common as well. And poor Gene and Deanne, they didn't quite plug their ears.
Yeah, we did.
Not physically, anyway.
My dad used to make it known that he liked loud music.
Oh,
And
yes. Oh, yes.
much to my happiness and amusement, one day I saw something that had been taped on my sister's bedroom door.
Yes.
And it was a quote. So I came up and read it, and the quote was from Fred, and it said, "If you can't feel it, it's not loud enough." So she used his own words against
I sure did. I sure did. Yes.
I'm Dick West. I'm a rather recent friend of Fred and Deanne's compared to a lot of you here in this group. And I tell you, I feel like I was robbed because I didn't meet them sooner.
Aww.
Not
necessarily.
Roger.
I'll have to hear more about that later.
You will.
You will.
But no, we got together almost by accident because Fred and I met through a mutual friend, and that mutual friend happened to think I was an electrician. Well, he thought that because I did some wiring in my pole barn. And so Fred and Deanne were having some little electrical issue or something, so this mutual friend said, "Oh, you got to get over, Fred, I'm going to tell Fred that you're an electrician and you can help him out." Well, I went over to the house, and that was the first time I met Deanne. I think she came to the door in her nightgown or something. I don't think she was exactly expecting me to show up.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, anyhow, that's how I got to meet Deanne and Fred, and we just hit it off. And once they met my wife Sue, who couldn't be here today, but we just hit it off and just enjoyed their company immensely. And like I say, I wish we'd had many, many more years to share things together, because it's been wonderful.
And when I came onto Pine Street, I found a family.
Yeah.
And Fred and Deanne
Oh,
are in my heart forever.
yeah.
They took me in like I was their sister. And Fred, I mean, you could tell him anything. He was always there with a listening ear. And I mean, I've never known a people person. I thought my brother was a people person. Fred would literally, if they didn't have people coming over for dinner, I think Fred would stand on the corner and just bring in strangers and never tell her.
Yeah.
And
No.
I'm like, Ian, you're having company. I guess we are. Bring out a few more hot dogs. 1 year, how many hot dogs did you?
We only had 4 nights the whole summer without company.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was about our
It was
third year here.
constant.
And were you lonely?
But he would never tell her. He just, we've got 14 people coming over for dinner tonight, and she'd have to figure it out, but she always did, and it was
Yeah.
always fun, and they're just the dearest friends.
It was more fun for some than others. But Pine Street is really rare, and Brisbane, I'm sure you've noticed this too. very short street. And this is called the Flats because it's level basically with the highway. And we literally would walk down, we go to over Kathy, if we saw her light on, we'd go over there if she's not up till midnight. The woman on the corner.
No, I'm definitely not up
No,
to midnight.
the woman on the corner, she was up here most of the summer alone, but with her little kids, and they were in bed. And she'd be down reading, and Fred said, "Let's go see Alice." And we walked down there in our pajamas at like 11:30 or 12 o'clock, and
Yep.
Fred would knock on the door and say, "You have any peanut butter?" And so we'd go in the house and she'd get him a peanut butter sandwich, and we'd sit there and visit for a while, and then we'd come back home. And we did the same thing with Kathy, but earlier.
Singing together in a cappella choir in high school.
And we sang it. We had an octet, quartet, so we did a lot of work together. Had a lot of fun. We double dated all through high school, and he always wanted to. We'd take the girls home after our date, but we were too cheap to take them to a restaurant or any place to buy dessert. We would take the girls home, and then we'd go buy a cake. And by the way, that was instigated by Fred. And we go back to his house and eat the cake. I get one slice, he get the rest.
He liked the sweets.
It's funny.
Oh yeah, he was a real sweet lover. We had a lot of good times.
But they were so welcoming, and they were such wonderful people to give me Ron's history, which Gil also helped share. But I always felt like I had a home when with them whenever we came to see them. And then when they bought full time up here, a different house because Bayview closed in the fall, and they wanted to be up here year round, or able to come at least. And we've had the privilege, because we live up here, to have them as friends for so long. And it's been a while, but not as long as the rest of you, but we really have enjoyed their friendship, and I miss him terribly.
64.
Aww.
And he had such a beautiful voice. He sang the Lord's Prayer. I'll never forget that. And then we went, did a lot of barbershop, Gil and myself, barbershop quartet and that, and great guy. Couldn't be any greater.
Myrna, yeah, I'm Fred's youngest sister, and all I can say, I know that, we all have different issues in our lives, and certainly Fred and I did, because we were brother and sister, and I drove him nuts. But he was the best big brother that God had ever given a girl, and I miss him very much.
Yeah.
But I thank you for all of you, for the part you played in his life.
Right.
These years here were heaven for him, and I think for Deanne, except when she was in the kitchen. But
Yes.
I look forward to seeing him again one day.
His ability to go 30 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone and look and talk to you while he's
Yes.
going down the road.
Or 55 in the 30 zone.
Or something, yeah, the other way around. And of course, he taught driver's training. And so when I go to Florida and I run across or I'm behind somebody just poking along 20 miles under the speed limit, I say, they graduate from Fred's school. And yeah, I can't let that slide. We're going to talk about his driving ability.
Forever. Forever.
But we had a great time. One time he came over to my house, and our house, actually. And I had just finished putting on a wooden deck on the back of the house. And he says, "I don't know how you do this. How do you put these pieces of wood together? How do you know how to do it?" And I says, "I don't know, Fred. You just get a hammer and a nail and a saw, and you just put something together." And he says, "God," he says, "I wish I could do that." And I said, "Fred," I remember this very well. I said, "Fred, I wish I could play the piano like you do.
Yeah.
I would trade anything to play that piano like you do." And he says, "Well, let's see if we can get a deal going."
And I'm proud to be Uncle Fred's nephew. So I had two brothers and a sister, and we spent some time up here. In fact, I was telling Grace that I did some painting in there years ago, and and he's just been like a second dad to me. I mean, so lucky to have Deanne here still with us. and he was just the absolute best, like you all know. I mean, always took my phone call whenever I had problems or was divorced years ago. He was always there for me. Don, it's gonna get better. You're good. You're fine. And he really was like a second dad to me, more than what people realize, I think, and same with my brothers too. So he is dearly missed. And I even have on my phone when he called my birthday last year, and he liked to sing "Happy Birthday." And if anybody wants to hear it, I'll play it. But happy birthday, Don. We love you. I hope you're doing great. So it's just wonderful. So always there supporting me, and I appreciate that a lot. So.
And what's really great is that my Fred was my mother's high school music teacher. And we didn't know this for a little while, but soon after Dale and I started dating, my mom came to a concert because Dale and I sang in a choir together. That's how we met, because my mom instilled in me a love of music, and the person who installed in her a love of music was Fred Rohrbach. And so I was in a choir. Dale and I started dating, and my mom came to our first concert, and it was the first time she'd seen his name, Dale's name, written down on the program. And she said, she ran up to him afterwards. She goes, "Is your dad Fred Rohrbach?" And he said, yeah. And she screamed. My mom's a screamer, so she shrieked in the middle. We were singing at the DIA. She screamed in the middle of the DIA.
Jumped.
It was pretty exciting.
Visceral.
But he brought us together, from many, many years ago up till now. So, and then when I was pregnant with, I think it was with the twins, I got put on bed rest, so I wasn't supposed to do a lot of driving anymore.
And you let Fred drive?
Oh, this is the story.
So he insisted on driving me to a doctor's appointment once.
The twins came early.
True.
You're tired of life?
Well, and I was like, "Oh, I'm fine. I can do this. I can drive." And he was like, No, I'll drive you. So he drove me to the doctor's appointment. I got there. My blood pressure was so high. They were like, "What's going on?" They had to put me on extra monitors for a while. I was like, I'll just drive myself. I wouldn't even tell him if there was an appointment coming up. So.
That's cute. That's cute.
And laugh.
Lynn Zimmer.
Just laugh and laugh. We'd get together on New Year's Eve and just play these crazy games and just laugh. And it was just so fun. I just miss you so much. And we went down for your big anniversary party. And and I'd forgotten that Fred was a singer. And that last song, remember, it was a cappella?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And so I was sitting there and people started singing around me. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's a singer. All these people in the room are a singer. I just have to listen right now. It was beautiful.
We have a Deanne.
And there she is.
Here I am. Hi.
But it was a special time too. So it's just I'm really glad to be here, and you're everybody.
I'll really miss Fred in that he was such a welcoming person. He always made you feel so special. And it was genuine, come on in, I'm just so happy to see you. Even if it wasn't always so great for you, but, I really appreciated that about him. And he loved to laugh. I remember those silly TV shows where they're telling jokes and, all that kind of stuff. He would just laugh and laugh and laugh. It was a lot of fun.
I can't talk about the life of this guy. I didn't meet him, unlike all the rest of you. I can talk about his legend. And the reason I can say that is I work at the Detroit Free Press. And one of my good friends over the years, who also has passed away, was an advertising artist. Roger Hicks.
He was my best friend.
Just another wonderful, charming guy with a face that would just light up when you talked to him. And Roger said, oh, you got a cottage in Bayview? You must know Fred and Dorothy. And they know everybody. And I said, gee, I don't. And every time after that, Roger and I would be talking in the summer, perhaps about whatever. And he'd say, so you going to Bayview? Well, yeah, Roger, I am. Oh, well, you got to meet Fred and Dorothy. They know everybody. I heard that phrase probably 12 or 15 times in my life. And I never forgot it, and I never actually met Fred and Dorothy. I know that Dorothy kind of receded, and then Fred, I think, fell in love all over again with someone named Deanne. Dorothy couldn't be here today, but Deanne is here. And I got to know Deanne just by accident lately, and so I just wanted to say that, you know, the legend is here, standing around, and it's wonderful that you guys planted this tree. That is just such an enduring, important part of what we need to do in this environment and here in this.
One of my first memories of Uncle Fred was I had two boys. They were 3.5 and 5.5, and just started dating Don. And you always worry about like how are my kids going to be like accepted into this new family? What are their thoughts going to be? And I just remember the two of you pulling up in the driveway, and he's like, "Where are these grandkids I have now?" And he just scooped them all up. He's like, "I'm your grandpa." And
I'm your grandpa.
White puppy dog. It was so cute.
I'm your grandpa.
And we held on to that forever. And he's like, "You kids are calling me grandpa," which, of course, years before you three came along, which he was so excited about.
Very excited.
But he was just like, "I have grandkids." And
That's
so
sweet.
he waited a long time for you three to come too. But then it just made me feel like, you know, this is going to be okay. This is, you know, he's accepting and loving, and they were just so gracious with their love for the family, and we all blended very nicely.
In the mid-'70s, I was a neighbor of theirs, and I mistakenly left my 1961 Buick Electra in the driveway.
At your own house?
At my house. And Deanne and Fred were riding their bikes, and he dumps his bike off at the curb and said, "Can I drive that car?" So and I was impressed that he was in my living room at that time. I had an organ, a piano, and a harpsichord.
Yeah.
Couldn't play any of them, but they, you know, I had those things, and he could play anything in any key and read music too, which I thought was pretty amazing.
From whom all blessings flow, praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
In our family memory for a long, long time. And really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this for our family. It means a lot. And we miss him dearly, but Fred lives on in the hearts and the memories that you all shared today.
Lots of memories of lots of people.
Yes, yes. And the 25 or so that were here today probably each represent another 25 or more. So thank you very much, and we love you all. There's a piano recital tonight in honor of my father, in memoriam, by Dr. Kelly Hale. And we are here at the John M. Hall Auditorium, and I'm stepping foot in here in just a minute for the first time in probably 30 years. Here we go. This is the auditorium. This is where all of Bayview Sunday services are held. And there's a very distinct feeling and a distinct smell and the look that has been always Bayview. Look at that beautiful stage. We'll be hearing a piano recital shortly.
for many years, and many of you will remember Fred was the pianist for lectures in Voorhees Auditorium for quite a long time. And he loved playing hymns. He was a musician, a choral director, and a pianist who played by ear. And we were very close friends in Bayview and have remained close all our lives. Just one of those lifelong friends, and you know how important, how valuable those are to us. When news of his death came, we were into the pandemic, and everyone had to stay home, including myself. And I had, just to pass the time, I had started practicing the piano more, and realized yet once again that if you practice, you improve. And so it dawned on me that a very nice way to honor Fred and his contribution to Bayview and his life in Bayview would be to play a concert, to play a recital in his memory. However, I didn't want to advertise this as a memorial concert because I was afraid too many people might think, well, I didn't know that person, so I don't think I should go. I guess I sort of tricked you tonight. But nonetheless, that was the motivating factor for the genesis for this concert. And Fred's family is here tonight. We gathered earlier in the evening to commemorate Fred and to celebrate him with the planting of a spectacular tree on the cottage grounds that they once owned. So it has been a very beautiful day and a day of many, many memories. So this next section of two pieces I dedicate to Fred Rohrbach. And these two pieces are two pieces of contrast that reflect what I knew to be best about Fred. The first, Romance by Schumann in G-flat major, is a testimonial to his compassion. He was an extremely kind, caring person. He felt deeply for other people. And the second piece is a tribute to his passion, because he felt strongly about a great many things, and he fought for a great many things that he felt were right in his life and in his experience and in his church work. He led a great deal.